Hi everyone, I'm Ghost Masala and welcome back to another guide to a World Cup match, and this time I'm doing Brazil versus Belgium. I know I'm a bit late with this one, uploading it on the same day that the game happens, but this gives me an opportunity to predict all of the quarterfinals at the same time, which I think is good. And as I didn't have much time to make this video, and also because it's hard to choose between Brazil and Belgium, I decided to structure this guide in a different way. Instead of comparing all 11 players to the players that they'll face, as I did in my previous video, go and check out my England versus Sweden and England versus Colombia guides. I'll leave a card up at the top of your screen to the England versus Sweden one, so you can check that out if you want. Instead of doing that, I decided to just compare the key battles of the match, because the really essential ones that will actually change the match. If you've been watching all of my guides, please don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed them. If you haven't, then don't subscribe because there's no point. But yeah, let's just get into it straight away, and yeah. First up, we have Thiago Silva versus Eden Hazard, and this is probably one of the most crucial battles. And as I said before, I'm not going to choose an outright winner, I'm just going to discuss what could happen in the game. So with Thiago Silva and Hazard, of course, Thiago Silva has is greatly experienced and is a great defender, one of the best, maybe not one of the best in the world at the moment, but he was a few years ago. And of course we saw 4 years ago how his impact his impact affected the Brazil team, as when he wasn't in the team they lost 7-1, and that was basically the biggest reason for that occurring, and Neymar going as well. Got to give some credit to Neymar, who will also play in this match, coincidentally. But yeah, Eden Hazard is very different. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm slightly biased here because I think Hazard is slightly overrated. For me, he's not that good, to be honest. He's like, there's a few people in the Belgium team who are better footballers in general than him. I don't know why, but he just doesn't impress me that much. Maybe because he is inconsistent. You can get an Eden Hazard who could absolutely drag a game and score 2 goals, get an assist, and just be the best player by miles. He with persistence, and just he changes the game. However, we could see the Eden Hazard who just sits there and does nothing, like against Japan. That's why I really don't rate Hazard, is because he just changes so much between games. And if he has a game like that against Brazil where he just does not do anything, it could signify that Belgium might not be able to beat them just because of the lack of creativity. And we saw that against Japan. They were very lucky with their goals, Belgium. Vertonghen's header was incredibly lucky. The break was lucky because that was the first time Japan had fully been broken down. And if Hazard is not performing, I could definitely see that going the way that it did last match. However, if Hazard does perform, then Thiago Silva will struggle. And the next key battle is down the very, very powerful left-hand side of the team, of the Brazil team, with Felipe Luis versus Mertens. Felipe Luis / Marcelo. I wasn't quite sure who Brazil were going to play in this occasion, so I just decided to put both of them. They're similarly good. They're both very good quality left backs. And really, this is down to Dries Mertens. Can he push the left backs back? Can Mertens be able to run at the left backs and push them back so that they can't attack? Because, as we saw in the Japan game, this will then help the wing backs, because it will mean they won't have to defend as much, and therefore they won't get pushed back as much as they did in that Japan game. And that is crucial, because then it means Belgium can attack more. So it's all down to Mertens and whether he is able to constantly keep worrying Brazil left back and keep pushing them back. Because if he doesn't do that, then it's going to be a massive problem for Munier, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his name, because Coutinho and Neymar, he's going to have to deal with them all match if Mertens isn't able, and he's going to, so if Mertens isn't able to deal with Felipe Luis and Marcelo and just push them back, Munier is going to have to deal with Neymar, Coutinho and Marcelo / Felipe Luis, so that is not going to be good for Munier at all. He does have the help of Alderweireld, we'll get to that later. But seriously, Mertens has an important job in attacking them so that they stay back, and if he does not do that, that could cause serious problems for Brazil. For Belgium. Next key duel is in midfield with the two Man City players against each other, because Casemiro is banned. I'm pretty sure that Fernandinho will play, and he will probably face De Bruyne in the game. And will Fernandinho be able to shut down De Bruyne? It's almost the opposite of Mertens, and oh no, not really. But De Bruyne, for me, he can just, again, he was absent in the game against Japan. Really, he just did not do anything. But in the other games against Panama and Tunisia, De Bruyne basically can cut open a defence like Brazil's defence. That's why it's Fernandinho's job to shut him down. And if he cannot do that, then it could be a serious problem for Brazil with De Bruyne playing in Lukaku. Man City duel here. I'll be interested to see how this one will play out in the actual game. Who will be able to get the better of the other person. Next up, we have Willian versus Jan Vertonghen, and for me, Jan Vertonghen is a bit like Hazard in a way, because he can just change so dramatically between games. In terms of his confidence more than anything else, I'm still not confident about Jan Vertonghen's defensive abilities, and for me, Willian is one of Chelsea's best players. I always admire him playing at Chelsea, so I think he could really run at Vertonghen, and really it's down to Vertonghen to deal with him. He's got the sole responsibility of dealing with him, because Chadley will have to be dealing with Fagner, the right back, so Vertonghen has to deal with Willian. So really, it's going to be tough for Vertonghen to deal with him. Like, honestly, I think Willian is one of Chelsea's best players, if not. I'm trying to think who I value more over Willian in the Chelsea team. Probably Costa before he left, and Courtois, of course, so that's that's good for Belgium. But yeah, a lot of Chelsea players playing in this match, actually. And yeah, but honestly, I've chosen this as a key battle, but really I know which way it's going to go. And unfortunately for Vertonghen, I just don't have confidence in him enough for him to be able to stop Willian. And unfortunately for Vertonghen, I think Willian is going to beat him. But if Willian can also have absent games like Hazard can. And if he does, then Vertonghen will be able to deal with him. Also, if Vertonghen is energized, he's a leader. If he's able to deal with, if he really gets it into his head, really gets the confidence that he needs, and gets the leadership that we've seen Vertonghen get in the past, then he will be able to stop Willian. But I'm not confident, to be honest. And finally, we've had the £200 million man versus the Spurs defender, Neymar versus alderweireld. And I haven't seen much about alderweireld, to be honest, so far. And honestly, this is kind of one of both players are underperforming, to be honest. Alderweireld could not stop Inui multiple times in the Belgium game, and I haven't seen too much from him so far in terms of good defence. The Belgian defence as a whole looks shaky against Japan in the last 16 game. And for me, but on the other hand, Neymar is not at his full form as well. He is maybe he's carrying an injury, maybe he's low on confidence, maybe he's just got too much pressure, but he's just not performing to his extent. And I think this battle will be probably what decides the game. Will Neymar find enough confidence to defeat alderweireld, or will alderweireld be able to possibly have the game of his life and beat Neymar? Both players are overrated in my opinion, but both of them can have the good days, and both of them I see winning this battle and therefore winning for their team. Neymar's so influential for Brazil that if he gets shut out, then Brazil will just lose all confidence and Belgium will be able to attack them, and then Belgium will be able to push up with their wing backs, and then everyone's dead. Then Brazil are just in real trouble. However, if Neymar can beat alderweireld and have real chances, as I said, he's so crucial for Brazil in terms of he's their talisman. That will energise Brazil so much, and they'll believe that they can do it. So really, this battle is the most crucial in the whole match. Who will win, Neymar or alderweireld? Well, we'll have to see in the actual game. And so let's get on to the prediction. So for me, I'm going to go just Something is wrong about Brazil for me. I believe Belgium have a lot of confidence from their 3-2 win against Japan in the last round. And yeah, so they just really want to win, and of course they probably won't be playing Carrasco. They probably won't be playing a lot of players who are not influential in that match. So I just, something seems wrong about Brazil. I thought something was wrong about Brazil in the 2014 World Cup, and we saw what happened there. And for me, they just lack something. Like, you know, the classic Brazil sides, they just lack someone who's really world class for me. Neymar is not world class for me. Coutinho is getting there, but he's not quite there. Just a couple more years and he'll be there. Maybe next World Cup. I'm not quite sure how old Coutinho is, but yeah, they just lack something, and that's why I'm going to go for a 1-0 Belgium win in normal time. Lukaku getting a goal. Sorry, Brazil fans, but I've got to go for that. I just, like, everyone's saying Brazil are going to win the whole thing. No, sorry. Even if they win this one, they're going to lose to France or Uruguay. And yes, the other last 16 games. So for the other last 16 games, I'm going to say Uruguay. I really like Uruguay as a team. I'm going to say Uruguay 2-1 win for Uruguay. They're defensively, they're so strong, and I don't think they've actually, oh no, they have conceded 1 goal now. They've only conceded 1 goal though in the entire tournament. France conceded 3 in their match versus Argentina, and Argentina weren't even that good. So I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Uruguay against France. And of course, I've done my England versus Sweden prediction, so you can go and check out that video. I put a card up ages ago, so check that out. Third time I've said that. And yeah, Russia versus Croatia. This is gonna be a difficult one to predict, but I'm gonna say Croatia 1-0 up until like 89 minutes, then they sneak the second goal because Russia are attacking. So 2-0 to Croatia in that game. And yeah, so yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're. Also, yeah, check out my previous World Cup guides. I've got a playlist. I'll leave that in a link in the description. Yeah, should do that. If I don't do that, remind me and I'll put it in the description. And yeah, so if you've liked all of my I might have a break from doing these World Cup guides for a bit. They have done well for me, but I might just leave them for the semi-finals. I probably will do one for the final though, and why not the 3rd place playoff? It's everyone's favourite match of each tournament, the 3rd place playoff.